The Hindu View of Life. Brooklyn Times, December 31, 1894. The Brooklyn Ethical Association at the Pouch Gallery last night tendered a reception to Swami Vivekananda. Previous to the reception, the distinguished visitor delivered a remarkably interesting lecture on the religions of India. Among other things, he said, "The Hindu's view of life is that we are here to learn. The whole happiness of life is to learn. The human soul is here to love learning and get experience. I am able to read my Bible better by your Bible, and you will learn to read your Bible the better by my Bible. If there is but one religion to be true, all the rest must be true. The same truth has manifested itself in different forms, and the forms are according to the different circumstances of the physical or mental nature of the different nations. If matter and its transformation answer for all that we have, there is no necessity for supposing the existence of a soul. But it cannot be proven that thought has been evolved out of matter. We cannot deny that bodies inherit certain tendencies, but those tendencies only mean the physical configuration through which a peculiar mind alone can act in a peculiar way. These peculiar tendencies in that soul have been caused by past actions. A soul with a certain tendency will take birth in a body which is the fittest instrument for the display of that tendency by the laws of affinity. And this is in perfect accord with science, for science wants to explain everything by habit, and habit is got through repetitions. So these repetitions are also necessary to explain the natural habits of a newborn soul. They were not got in this present life, therefore they must have come down from past lives. All religions are so many stages. Each one of them represents the stage through which the human soul passes to realize God. Therefore, not one of them should be neglected. None of the stages are dangerous or bad. They are good. Just as a child becomes a young man, and a young man becomes an old man, so they are traveling from truth to truth. They become dangerous only when they become rigid, and will not move further, when he ceases to grow. If the child refuses to become an old man, then he is diseased. But if they steadily grow, each step will lead them onward until they reach the whole truth. Therefore, we believe in both a personal and impersonal God, and at the same time we believe in all the religions that were, all the religions that are, and all the religions that will be in the world. We also believe we ought not only tolerate these religions, but to accept them. In the material physical world, expansion is life, and contraction is death. Whatever ceases to expand ceases to live. Translating this in the moral world we have, if one would expand, he must love, and when he ceases to love, he dies. It is your nature, you must, because that is the only law of life. Therefore, we must love God for love's sake. So we must do our duty for duty's sake. We must work for work's sake without looking for any reward. Know that you are purer and more perfect. Know that this is the real temple of God." Brooklyn Daily Eagle, December 31, 1894. After referring to the views of the Mohammedans, the Buddhists, and other religious schools of India, the speaker said that the Hindus received their religion through the revelations of the Vedas, who teach that creation is without beginning or end. They teach that man is a spirit living in a body. The body will die, but the man will not. The spirit will go on living. The soul was not created from nothing, for creation means a combination, and that means a certain future dissolution. If then the soul was created, it must die. Therefore, it was not created. He might be asked how it is that we do not remember anything of our past lives. This could be easily explained. Consciousness is the name only of the surface of the mental ocean, and within its depths are stored up all our experiences. The desire was to find out something that was stable. The mind, the body, all nature, in fact, is changing. This question of finding something that was infinite had long been discussed. One school, of which the modern Buddhists are the representatives, teach that everything that could not be solved by the five senses was non-existent, that every object is dependent upon all others, that it is a delusion that man is an independent entity. The idealists, on the other hand, claim that each individual is an independent body. The true solution of this problem is that nature is a mixture of dependence and independence, of reality and idealism. There is a dependence which is proved by the fact that the movements of our bodies are controlled by our minds, and our minds are controlled by the spirit within us, which Christians call the soul. Death is but a change. Those who have passed beyond and are occupying high positions there are but the same as those who remain here, and those who are occupying lower positions there are the same as others here. Every human being is a perfect being. If we sit down in the dark and lament that it is so dark, it will profit us nothing. But if we procure matches and strike a light, the darkness goes out immediately. So if we sit down and lament that our bodies are imperfect, that our souls are imperfect, we are not profited. When we call in the light of reason, then this darkness of doubt will disappear. The object of life is to learn. Christians can learn from the Hindus, and the Hindus from Christians. He could read his Bible better after reading ours. Tell your children, he said, that religion is a positive something and not a negative something. It is not the teachings of men, but a growth, a development of something higher within our nature that seeks outlet. Every child born into the world is born with a certain accumulated experience. The idea of independence which possesses us shows there is something in us besides mind and body. The body and mind are dependent. The soul that animates us is an independent factor that creates this wish for freedom. If we are not free, how can we hope to make the world good or perfect? We hold that we are makers of ourselves, that what we have, we make ourselves. We have made it, and we can unmake it. We believe in God, the Father of us all, the Creator and Preserver of His children, omnipresent and omnipotent. We believe in a personal God as you do, but we go further. We believe that we are He. We believe in all the religions that have gone before, in all that now exist, and in all that are to come. The Hindu bows down to all religion, for in this world the idea is addition, not subtraction. We would make up a bouquet of all beautiful colors for God, the Creator, who is a personal God. We must love God for love's sake. We must do our duty to Him for duty's sake, and must work for Him for work's sake, and must worship Him for worship's sake. Books are good, but they are only maps. Reading a book by direction of a man, I read that so many inches of rain fell during the year. Then he told me to take the book and squeeze it between my hands. I did so, and not a drop of water came from it. It was the idea only that the book conveyed. So we can get good from books, from the temple, from the church, from anything, so long as it leads us onward and upward. Sacrifices, genuflections, rumblings, and mutterings are not religion. They are all good if they help us to come to a perception of the perfection which we shall realize when we come face to face with Christ. These are words or instructions to us by which we may profit. Columbus, when he discovered this continent, went back and told his countrymen that he had found the New World. They would not believe him, or some would not, and he told them to go and search for themselves. So with us, we read these truths and come in and find the truths for ourselves, and then we have a belief which no one can take from us. After the lecture, an opportunity was given those present to question the speaker on any point on which they wished to have his views. Many of them availed themselves of this offer.